Hi, I wanted to go over some of the questions from quiz one. Some of the common mistake I saw was population versus sample. Most people got population correctly. This is everyone you're interested in, everyone you're interested in, you're studying. And sample is portion of them, but not just as any portion, but it's portion that is surveyed, right? That was surveyed. So I'm going to underline surveyed, right? So let's look at example one, the first one. In the Gallup poll, they wanted to find out the percent of Californians who identify themselves as Democrats. So like out of all Californians, some are Democrats, some are Republicans, some are independent, whatever, right? So they want to look at the percentage of people who are Democrats. So in this case, and then 200 adults from each group, income group, low, medium, middle, and upper class, were selected and asked about their party affiliations. So population is everyone in California. They want to look at percentage of Democrats. So they didn't survey only Democrats, right? They surveyed everyone randomly and see some people are Democrats and some people are Republican. That's how they calculate percentage of Democrats. So population is everyone in, and the sample is not Democrats. They didn't survey every Democrats, right? They surveyed 250 from each income group. So surveyed. So they surveyed 250 from each group. So that'll be my stratify. You notice that they broke down population into different groups and they surveyed from each group. So that's the stratify sampling. From each strata, they surveyed 250 and then there were three groups, so there are 750 people surveyed. So population is everyone. Sample was 700 people surveyed, 750 people who was surveyed, and it was a stratified sampling method. And they asked for the party affiliation, so it was qualitative data. So question was probably, what's your party affiliation, or do you support Democrats or not? So either way, you get either yes, no answer, or you get party affiliation answer, which is descriptive. Now I'm gonna look at the frequency table question. So here, I'm looking at this bunch of hurricanes were recorded according to their category. So category 1 through category 5. Number of direct hits, basically this is like frequency. So if I'm reading off the first line, my interpretation is they were 109 a lot. Hurricanes. They were category 1, right? Category 1. So there were a lot of category 1 hurricane. And if you interpret the last line, there were only 3 category 5 hurricanes, right? So there weren't that many. So one of the questions I asked was, what's the total number of hurricanes surveyed? Total number of hurricane. It was basically, you add up all the frequencies, 109 plus 72 plus 71 plus 18. So there'll be 273. So we surveyed 273 hurricanes, and some were category 1, some were category 2, so on and so forth, and not that many were category 5. The mode category, again, mode is the number that's occurred most often. So if I were to kind of look at actual data set, it's going to look like this. Category 1, category 1, category 1, category 1. There are a lot of those. You know there are 109 of these numbers, right? And then they recorded category 2, category 2, category 2, bunch of them. There were 72 of these guys. And then category 3, category 3. there were 71 of those. Category 4, there are 18 of those. And then category 5, right? Just 3, that's it. So there were total of 273 numbers. That's a lot of numbers. So again, in order to calculate the mode, which number happens the most often? Well, whatever has the highest frequency, right? 1, in this case, 1 will have the highest frequency because there are a lot of 1s here, right? So that will be the mode. So mode is category 1. Oops, wrong color, blue. Category 1, right? And then mean, which is the average. So again, when we find the average, category ranges from 1 to 5, right? So when we're talking about average category, it's got to be somewhere in between here, right? So just can I keep that in mind? The highest category was 5, the lowest category is 1. So what's the average category? It's going to be probably like 2 and 3. But notice there are a lot more 1s, so most likely it's closer to 1 than 5, right? So that's my guess. The long way of doing it is I add up all the numbers. So it's like 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus all the way 2 plus 2 plus all the way to 5 plus 5 plus 5 over 273, because there are 273 numbers, hurricanes, so you add them all up and divide by 273, right? So that's like a long way of doing it, but this is possible. Again, as you can see, when the data is given in terms of frequency table like this, it could be misleading because there are a lot of numbers, data values, but we're just organized. This is organized in different ways. So when I calculate the mean, this is, if I were to do it by hand, this is what I'll do it. But again, in real life, I'll probably use the calculator. So what I'll do is I'll look at the data. So here, I'm gonna plug in category as into L1, and then frequency into L2. So this is when you actually input frequency as well as the actual data set. So actual data set is category of the hurricane, and then L2 will be my frequency. And then from there, I'll do the one variable statistic business. So here, calculator way is I go calculate, then I go 1 var stats, and we use L1 and then L2 as your frequency list, right? L1 is the list, L2 is the frequency list. This is the one that a lot of you guys missed. And then use X bar as an average. Okay. And the actual average was 2.02. So category 2 was about the average size of the category, the hurricane. All right, so I just wanted to go over some of the most common mistakes that I noticed during the test, during the quiz.